What happens when performing someone else's songs helps you find your own sound? On this episode of the MarshyCast, I'm joined by UK country artist Liam Price, also known to his fans as Luke Combs UK. We talk about warming up for the real Luke Combs at Wembley Boxpark, spending time with Luke and getting recognition from his team, and whether performing his music has actually made Liam a better artist himself. We turn the spotlight firmly onto Liam, from performing at CMA Fest and Experience in Nashville to his latest single Two Horse Town, and what comes next as he builds his own career in country music. It's Paul Marsh, and I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by Liam Price, aka Luke Combs UK. Liam, how are you, sir?
Hello, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm really, really good, mate. We got a lot to talk about. It has been an unbelievable weekend for you just gone. Luke Combs at Wembley. You were a part of it. You were there at Boxpark Wembley, warming up thousands of Luke Combs fans before his stadium shows. Has that got to be one of those moments where you stop and think, how did I end up here?
Well, yeah, and to be honest, Paul, over the last 3 years, those moments don't go away. They just keep coming back in one shape or another. I keep getting these pinch me moments, but that was certainly a career highlight for sure. The weekend, to be asked and chosen to do that was a real honour, and I think we delivered. We did well.
Well,
so.
I was there on Saturday at Wembley, but I couldn't get into Boxpark.
Oh, right.
That's how packed it was. That's how busy it was. I couldn't even get in.
You should have dropped into the emails and inbox just like about 5,000 other people did trying to get in. Everyone was my best mate this weekend. You wouldn't believe it.
Was it an amazing atmosphere?
Oh yeah, I mean, usually, we play some gigs and there's people a bit cagey, like you got to win them over, which we've been doing for years. But there was no need for that on Friday or Saturday. Everyone was just absolutely ready from the first note. So yeah, it was class, brilliant.
And did you get to go in afterwards?
We did. I actually went with my wife on the Friday, and then Luke's management, they got us guest list on Saturday, which was amazing.
Oh,
so
mate. Well,
very fortunate.
On a scale of 1 to 10, that's got to be like a 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah, it was good, mate. It was great, fantastic, but really appreciate it. And those guys have been amazing to us from day one. So
yeah, so you've obviously spent a lot of years studying Luke. Has performing him made you a better singer and a performer in your own right?
That's a good question. I've never been asked that. I think I've always been a performer, but it's probably diversified my singing because it's a complete act. Like, I don't sound like that normally.
Yeah.
From original stuff for the cover stuff, but so I suppose it's diversified and gave me a different angle on how to sing and different ways you can sing. The biggest thing I had to get over was the real American accent to put on. Like, it just felt corny to me at the start, but you can't get around it when you listen to Luke's vocal. It is American as it gets. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way he pronounces things, and so you've just got to roll with it. And then I just decided not to talk like that between songs. I just speak like myself.
Well, that's the really funny thing, because I saw you at Portsmouth Guildhall. Was it last year, wasn't it, I think?
And again, amazing show.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Is yes, obviously you're going to sing his songs in that American accent because you need to sound like Luke. But in between, like, do you go the full hog and put on that, you are Luke in between tracks, or do you kind of break it down and go, no, this is me? And am I right in saying you're from the Black Country or something? You reference that quite a lot.
Yeah, we call it Country from the Black Country.
Yes, yeah.
So, but yeah, from Wolverhampton, and it was one of the earliest decisions. I even remembered like talking to my wife about it before I started. I was like, I'm really not comfortable with doing the whole. I'd seen so many tributes, like, it was great to be at the Grammys last week and all this, and I was just like, I cannot do it. So, but you know what? It's one of the best decisions I ever made because it's so much more relatable to people when we're ourselves. So yeah, between songs, we are completely ourselves. We reference Luke, we give the stories behind his songs, and then the act comes alive during the songs. So
Now, I know this story, but for anybody that doesn't know this story, how did it all start for you? How did it all begin?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was like doing so many weddings. I was playing a lot of weddings, and Luke's music kept coming up. We've all been in professions, different professions, mainly in schools. But I broke off and I was doing like a lot of weddings after COVID. It was like 2 years of weddings into 1 year. And to be honest with you, to be quite truthful, Paul, I was done with weddings. However, this Luke Combs guy kept popping up at weddings like, can we have this song? Can we have that song? And he obviously got bigger, bigger. Country got huge. He was kind of the figurehead of modern country. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to have a go at this. I got talking to a local restaurant owner in Wolverhampton, Rodeo's Barbecue. And he said, well, look, I know what you're about. If you decide to do it, we'll book a few shows. And within 48 hours, we had three or four sold out shows at Rodeos in Wolverhampton. And my behind hasn't touched the floor since that day.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, look, I'm not going to name any names. I have seen a few others. You are the best by literally a country mile.
No, I appreciate that. We put so much work in at the start. I always say, we were in the studio for 3 months, and we didn't leave until I was happy with it. Everyone was so probably losing their patience with me. I was like, let's do it again, let's get this part right. But my musicians are absolute perfectionists anyway. They're amazing. They hone in on everything, and that's why we've had the success we have.
So you've obviously mentioned that you went to the show on Saturday at the invite of Luke's team. Spending time with Luke, what's that like?
It's like me and you right now. It's so far from what. Honestly, within 2 minutes, I forgot I was talking to the biggest country star out of Nashville. Like he's a lovely, lovely man. And I said to someone the other day on an interview, I can't remember who it was, but we spent probably 20 minutes just talking about home and family, really. My wife was pregnant at the time I met him, and this had become full time. And I just said, thank you for your support. My wife probably isn't going to go back to work. I'm able to support the family. And he's like, dude, he's like, he's like wraps his arms around me. He's so cool. Everything you hear about him and he's so in touch with real life. And I know he's a megastar and he's worth millions, but he's just so in touch with the basics.
I think that's why people love him so much as well. As away from the music, I think that's why people really, really like him.
Yeah, and I think you see horror stories over the years about like artists who just like lose it, or like, and I think they just lose touch of, real life, because they go away and they'll play to hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we all end up back at home, like watching TV. And it's how you deal with those, those highs and lows. And you got to have your family around you and your friends and your people, your network. And I think he's just got that nailed down.
Now, for Luke to endorse you, I can only assume that he has seen your show, or at least part of your show, snippets of your show. The only way that I could compare it is if, I don't know, I had Chris Evans, Chris Moyles, whoever it is, Terry Wogan sitting and watching me right now and would just like have sweat pouring down me. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, his manager had alluded to the fact like he'd seen what we were doing. They were already aware of what we were doing, and we've got their full backing. I think that the main thing for them is, like Chris always says, his manager, like, treat the fans well, because they are our fans. Be good to the fans.
Yeah.
So there's, we feel a lot of pressure, like, not pressure, I suppose. We feel a lot of responsibility when we tour the country, how we act, how we behave, and how we engage. And his fans some have become our fans, and they're the ones keeping us on the road. But it is weird to think that he sees everything. Because he's been on interview saying, I know for a fact they're in America right now and they're playing all the places I used to play. So, yeah. I think it was Rob Brydon said, oh, you should be in on the deal. And And he was like, oh, I don't need to be. I've got enough slices of the
Yeah,
pie.
I think he's okay. I
So,
think he's okay. Well, look, if you want to check out Liam as Luke Combs UK, he is coming to the Portsmouth Guildhall on Saturday, the 17th of October. Like I said, I saw Liam as Luke last year at the Portsmouth Guildhall. If Luke Combs is a 10 out of 10, Liam as Luke is a 9 out of 10. It is absolutely an amazing show, and I cannot recommend it high enough. Liam, let's take the Luke Combs hat off for just a minute, because over the last couple of years, you've been building quietly a career that is completely your own.
yeah, always written original songs, albeit having a bit of a break. And I just thought, well, what better platform have I got than to like show people what I can do? And, and it's been great. I've had some really great success already, which, I can't thank people enough for backing it really. So, yeah.
How was CMA Fest? That's obviously the biggest week in country music. You weren't there as Luke Combs. You were there playing your own songs. Did that feel like the moment everything became a little bit real?
Yeah, and like I'll always love the tribute stuff, and it provides me a really nice life. But when you're at CMA and you're just there for the week and you're playing your own, you just think, God, this is awesome. I think there was only two British artists on the festival, and it was. I find it hard to put into words. Really, I'm not often stuck for words, but yeah, it was just like dreamland. It was great. So.
What would you say is the biggest thing that Nashville has taught you? Is it something musical, or is it something away from that, maybe about you as a person or as an artist?
Yeah, I think you just got to stay true. I mean, obviously Nashville's one of the fastest growing cities in the US, and I liken it to like all the actors who go to Hollywood. All the musicians go to Nashville, but I can imagine it's the sort of place where you could lose yourself very quickly and what you stand for and who you are. And I think it's probably, I wasn't going to say the word I was going to use, but all the tinsel around it. You've just got to keep your head on your shoulders and just be yourself,
Yeah.
because it ain't worth it if you have to be something you're not to put up that front all the time. So probably Nashville and all the buzz around it, and it is a great place. I mean, I've been 6 times, so there's something about it I like. But stay grounded and stay true to yourself. So yeah, I can imagine Nashville would spit you out pretty quickly if you got to stay grounded.
I think it has done to a few people. Your latest track, Two Horse Town, it feels like really traditional country, especially with, is it Janae Fleener? She's playing on it. When you heard that
Yeah,
she agreed to be a part of the song, what was your reaction on that?
shock. When you look at Janae's credentials, I mean, she's the most sought after fiddle player in Nashville. She's playing with like the king, like George Strait, touring with him. She's at the Opry every other week. Like she's 5 times CMA Musician of the Year, and it's not very often where musicians will send me a track and I send it back and go, can we change this? I just went, yep, that's absolutely fine. What you've just put down is exactly what I want, and I didn't change a thing really. So it was an honour to have her on it, and I hope she sees this because I think a lot of her. So.
Now, winning the Long Road Homegrown Talent Competition opened the door to CMA Fest. Now you are going to be heading back to Long Road. Does returning feel different now that you've ticked Nashville off the bucket list?
Yeah, I think there's a bit more expectation. The last thing was a competition. So where they expect you to be a bit rough around the edges, or this is main stage. So we got to go out there and deliver. We're on the Rhinestone stage on the Sunday. But we've got enough gigs under our belts to know exactly what we need to do, and send people away with a smile. That's what we aim to do. Win some new fans as well. There's gonna be a lot of people there that ain't got a clue who I am. So give it the beans.
Well, but beyond Two Horse Town and beyond Long Road, what's the next stages? Are we looking at maybe a few more singles? Is there an album in the pipeline?
Yeah, I'll be like dead truthful with you, Paul. I don't know as an independent artist. I'm not sure I see the fruits of an album at the moment. Like I don't know,
The landscape's changed. It's very, very different now.
and it costs an arm and a leg to go and record an album. You're looking upwards of like 15K. Like, it's outrageous with all the pressing and everything. But writing, definitely, there's nothing stopping me from having a bank of like 30, 40 songs that I'd love to get down and co-write, and just release what I'm ready to release if I think it's good enough. And yeah, don't rush into anything. Just portray my style as I want it to be seen and heard. So keep doing what I'm doing. It's doing well so far. So
You've done okay so far.
yeah.
If somebody discovers you for the very first time at Long Road Festival this year, what do you hope that they're saying as they walk away from your set?
Well, hopefully talented. That I've got songs that are memorable. A lot of feedback I get, which I forget sometimes, is people say you're speaking about real experience. Every song I've written, like, I can't write fiction. I've found out I'm not very good at it. So every song you hear is so truthful. And I do see emotion in my audiences when I play to them. Stuff that people can relate to. Whether that's emotional stuff or, you know, the fruit to life or whatever. But I just hope people go away that they've had a real true performance that they believed in.
Well, Liam, thank you so much for talking to me. I really, really do appreciate it. There's only one thing left to do, and that is for you to introduce your current single.
So, hi Portsmouth, I'm Liam Price, and this is my latest single, Two Horse Town.